And we should be about live, right? Okay. Hopefully I'm also audible as well. No, I am not. I don't think I am. There's an issue. You're not live on um Hmm. not live on TikTok yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm audible, but I just cannot hear myself. All right. Okay, I can see that now. Yep, that'll do it. All right. Like it completely messed up my um audio settings, but it's fine now. So I'm also starting our TikTok live stream as well. Okay, I think we are live. That there too. Let me just make sure seeing it on our account. Okay, great. Everything is working perfectly. Sorry
All
about
right.
that little hiccup, guys. My computer just completely messed up my audio settings. Not sure why. Right. Um, Hi there, everyone. It's Global Scholarships, and I'm your host, Az. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everything is going great. And today we are here with another weekly live stream. And I'm here joined by Eamon. Hi, Eamon. How are you? How are things going? I hope you're well.
Hi, Az. Yeah, I'm doing well. Things are going well. How about yourself?
Okay, I'm doing fine too. Thank you very much. So, everyone, as you know, we are here every Friday. We do live streams. If you do not know us, we are Global Scholarships. We're a platform that share a lot of cool, informative stuff on scholarships, on studying abroad, general information. We have a YouTube channel and a TikTok account as well. So, if you are using either one, you can just go to the other platform and see us there too. So basically, let me give you a little bit information about global scholarships. As you can see, this is our website, globalscholarships.com, which has so much free information about scholarships and studying abroad in general. As you can see, right now you can just go to globalscholarships.com. As you can see, we have a search tool here, but we also have one thing you shouldn't um, miss. We have quite a lot of guides, resources, scholarships. So, like we have, these are hi there. People are starting to join in on TikTok as well. So we have quite a lot of guides here. They're all completely free. They do not require an account or anything or any payment, etc. It's completely free. Also, we have our search tool. So basically, you can use our search tool to find scholarships that might be suitable for you. Um, Hang on. I hope my live stream is working. I think there's a TikTok notification saying hi computer load. Not sure why that would be. Let me just. Okay, this might be better. All right, so let me show you our search tool, and you can see how to find scholarships pretty much everywhere. So basically, you can just go to globalscholarships.com, and you are welcomed by our front page, which, as you can see, includes this very cool search tool. You can type in anything that you are interested in here. For example, if you have a country in mind, for example, let's say Germany, right? And click it. And our search tool will give you all the results of all the scholarships that we have in that specific country. Or you can just hit enter here without typing in anything, and it will show you all the scholarships that we have in our database. As you can see, we have 4,500 scholarships in our database in total for pretty much people from everywhere and in every like different countries. So you can use our filters to like customize these results for yourself. For example, you can choose degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, or PhD. Hang on. Or you can choose a location. For example, let's say you are interested in United States, right? You can choose that. Scholarship type. Basically, we have three different scholarship types. One is partial funding, one is full tuition, and one is full funding. What these all mean, is basically partial funding means the scholarship covers less than tuition fees. For example, let's see, um, let's say this university, right? So this is a scholarship in Clark Atlanta University. So you can just go to the university page and you can see they have tuition fees, right? So this university has a tuition fee of about $22,000. So basically, a partial tuition fee would cover less than $22,000 per year. All right, but maybe they will give you a specific amount of money that is less than a tuition fee. For example, they will say the students who earn this scholarship will pay you about $10,000, maybe $5,000, or maybe they will give you just a discount. For example, let's say 50% discount, and you'll pay $10,000 instead of $22,000 per year. So basically, that's partial funding, so less than tuition fees. We also have, as you can see, full tuition, which means it covers the tuition fees, does like however much that is, and that's it. They don't give you anything other than just covering tuition fees, right? And then we have full funding. Full funding scholarships are the most comprehensive ones, the like most uh, like the best scholarships basically. They give you tuition fees, like they cover your tuition fees, and then they give you something a little more than that. That might be like a stipend, an allowance. Maybe they will give you sorry, $10,000 per semester to cover your living expenses. Maybe they will give you like a weekly allowance. Sorry, maybe they will cover your accommodation. Maybe they will cover your I don't know, some specific needs, for example, like book allowance or computer allowance, and etc. There are some scholarships, for example, that gives you a um, laptop allowance, that type of thing. So that's full funding. So basically, partial funding, less than tuition fees. Full tuition, it covers tuition fees, and full funding, it covers your tuition fees and give you something more. And then, of course, you can filter for deadlines. Like if you're only interested in scholarships that you can apply right now, or you can filter for subjects and nationalities. Basically, like we can type in your nationality here. For example, I'm from Turkey, so let's say Turkey. As you can see, the results, like the number of results, do not go down all that much. It went. Can you tell me which ones help with the visa? Um, Scholarships that help with visa. Eamon, do you want to say anything about that one?
Um, help in what way? Like monetary or help you get a visa? Because uh, no university can guarantee a visa for
Yeah.
international students. That is something that they all mention. Um, but if you mean in terms of funding, I think only governmental scholarships do that, as far as I know. Very,
Mhm.
very, very rarely are there any university scholarships that cover visa. Not to say that there aren't any at all. So the ones that I know are governmental scholarships, and then those probably also guarantee that you get a visa because they're offered by that country's government, unlike universities.
Yeah. Hang on, let me see something if I can find any scholarships. I think I remember one. For example, yeah, for example, there is Redbot Encouragement Scholarship at University of Redbot. Let me just share the link with you. Let me just show you the scholarship uh, here. Right. This is Redbout. Is there fully funded scholarships? Yes, we're gonna see those. For example, this is a fully funded scholarship, Redbout Encouragement Scholarship at Redbout University in Netherlands. For example, as you can see, this is full funding. Now, this does not guarantee you a visa or help you with like getting a visa, but as you can see, it covers expenses for visa, residence permit, health insurance, and liability insurance. So there are some scholarships that cover visa costs by the universities. Of course, as Eamon said, there are some scholarships, like government scholarships, that cover those too. But they are very rare for like university scholarships. If you want to find one, like a scholarship that covers visa costs too, your best bet would be looking into fully funded scholarships, like full funding scholarships, because only those give you more than your tuition fees. All right. Um, so Ben said, "Is there a fully funded scholarships?" Yes, there are quite a lot of fully funded scholarships. We're going to see those in a second. Helen said, "Is there any scholarships for bachelors?" Yes. For example, you can in degrees you can just filter for bachelors here, right? And as you can see, there's 1,000 scholarships just for Turkish students in United States. Most of them are not fully funded scholarships. There are quite a lot of partial scholarships, as you can see. For example, this is international scholarships at University of Nevada, Reno. It's a partial scholarship. It gives you $5,000. That's pretty much it. Hi there, Ayush. Welcome back. Yes, I remember you. You were here last Friday too. I'm very happy to see you here again. I hope you are doing well. If you have any further questions, just feel free to ask them. We'll do our best. So basically, guys, this is a really good tool to find scholarships. Now, you might say, okay, I've searched for scholarships and I've seen these, like, but what do I do next? So you can just click on these for pretty much every scholarship we have, like 4,000, 5,000 scholarships that we have in our database. For each of them, we have a web page. As you can see, this is our page for the scholarship. And this page pretty much covers every piece of information you might need. Like we have a scholarship summary, level of study, host institution, like this is University of Pennsylvania, for example. You can also click on the university and go to our page for that university, which will also give you quite a lot of information like application procedure, deadlines, and tuition fees, and etc. So yeah, there are quite a lot of information here. Anyway, this is our scholarship page, right? We have deadline here and etc. We have coverage, like what it covers. Thanks, says Helen. Is there any scholarships with which I can apply for study visa without bank statement? Eamon, I'm gonna have to ask that to you. Without bank statement.
Um, without bank statement. For a visa, I don't think so. You need to show proof of funds that you can um, fund your education and support yourself while you're there, especially if you don't have any scholarships. That is
Mhm.
uh, a requirement even for like a tourist visa. Not uh, so for study visas, that's a given. So you have to show proof of funds. Many countries require a blocked account as well, so the funds cannot be touched, and they would give you a portion of it they give you access to a portion of it every month. Yeah, so it's not possible at all without an actual bank statement. It doesn't have to be yours, so it can be a sponsor, it can be someone close to you who would explain that they would fund your education, but there is a need for a bank statement nevertheless.
Okay, thank you very much. Also, Ayush asks, are there any external scholarships that apply after achieving a certain SAT score? I think, do you mean like a scholarship that you can get guaranteed for for a certain SAT score? Does that what you ask? What do you mean, Ayman? What do you think, Ayman? Sorry.
Um, I don't think there are any external scholarships that would really
Mm.
ask for uh, the SAT. Many universities don't, so I don't see why external scholarships would. Um, most external scholarships have certain ideas behind them, and you need to just have the background of that scholarship. So they have a goal in mind, and then you need to have done something in relation to that or show interest um, in whatever they're interested in. They're yes, your academic background is important, but it should be like within your school itself, like your GPA. I don't think the SAT is uh, a requirement to achieve any external scholarships, at least as far as I know. Maybe there are, but for the majority of them and the ones that I know of, it's not a
Mhm.
requirement at all to be considered, let alone like to give you a certain advantage.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello there, Korede. So Ayush asks is there a mini grant after no, let's say 1500 in the SAT? Like I don't think there is something like that, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. I have seen scholarships based on language proficiency. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a certain level uh, or a certain score in IELTS or TOEFL, you get a scholarship. But uh, I have seen for example, the requirement being a minimum SAT of say 1500, but there are other requirements. It's not the only requirement to be considered for the scholarship. Yes, so I see what they mean um, by a grant for 1500, but it's not just the SAT. So generally for language proficiency test, that's the only requirement. But
Mm-hmm.
for scholarships requiring SAT, they would also require GPA. They would require some leadership skills. They're looking for other things as well. It's not so the fact that you got a certain score in the SAT doesn't mean that you're granted a scholarship. Because I feel like many people would qualify. So um, that's why it can be the only requirement. They would look for other things in order to give those kinds of scholarships.
Yeah, but as Eamon said, for example, Ayush, there's something called, for example, topic scholarships or like language test score coverage. Like South Korea has those, they don't really give you for example, like $1,000 of $2,000 or something, but what they give you is for example, based on your IELTS, you can get like 100% of your tuition fees covered, or there's something called a topic test, like test of proficiency in Korean. And a lot of universities give you a certain scholarship based on your level. For example, if you have level 6, there are some universities that will give you 100% tuition fee reduction. For example, in this university, Hanyang University, it gives you 100% tuition fees. And if you look at their tuition fees, like they're on average about 10,000, like 6,000, 7,000, $9,000. So like you can say, if I get level 6 from topic, I will not have to pay $10,000 in a Korean university. But of course, one thing you have to keep in mind is that studying in Korea and living in Korea is also quite expensive. So you would also have other expenses like living costs and etc. You need to keep those in mind. Okay. Um, so Mukul Bhagat asks, I have done masters in political science, wish to study abroad with scholarship and no knowledge on where to start from. What shall be my approach? So if you have like zero, you're welcome, Aish. If you have anything else, just let us know. Like if you have literally zero information, one great source of information is globalscholarships.com or our YouTube channel. We share quite a lot of information. For example, when you go to globalscholarships.com, let's say you want to do like masters in hi there Cupid. I'm gonna answer that in a second. You want to like do masters in political science, right? You can just type in political science, and as you can see, we have a subject here. You can choose that subject, and it will give you about 3,600 scholarships. Choose your degree, master's, right? And then you can choose scholarship type. For example, if you are looking for just tuition, like full funding scholarships, as you can see, there are 135 scholarships. Some of them are in Taiwan, in United States. If you have a location in mind, you can just type in United States, for example, and those will give you quite a lot of information about those scholarships. These are mostly graduate assistantships. In United States, there aren't that many good scholarships for master students, but there are quite a lot of scholarships in, for example, in China. I mean, I'm talking about masters, but maybe you're asking for a PhD. But like you can use our search tool, then you can click on any of these and go and see about the scholarship, what it covers, and etc. etc. Other than that, our um, YouTube channel and TikTok share quite a lot of informative stuff. Eamon, do you want to say anything about this one? Like they, oh, you have done masters. Okay, so PhD, for example, graduate assistantships are quite good. We're going to see one of those two today. So yeah, there are quite a lot of scholarships for PhD students that are fully funding. So yeah, I would first use our search tool and maybe follow our YouTube channel to learn about more opportunities. I mean, do you want to say anything specific about this one?
Yeah, that would have been my question. Are they looking for uh, a PhD scholarship, or are they pursuing a PhD degree, or are they pursuing another master's degree? Um, so I really am not sure, but yeah. So the best way to so you're looking for PhD. Um, yeah. So I would start uh probably narrowing down the search to universities that offer political science degrees. And then if you're going for research, then you probably need some kind of research proposal that would be interesting to uh, a professor at a certain university. You can start by contacting those professors, see if they're interested in your project. Um, and then from there, you can contact the university, tell them that this specific professor has agreed to be my supervisor. And then I would start looking at scholarship opportunities and assistantships as well, since you're pursuing a PhD degree. One thing about assistantships is that they're not offered before admission, so you'd need to be admitted and then apply for it as a job position. Many universities offer fully funded uh, opportunities for PhD students, especially. So just look for doctoral funding at the universities that you're interested in. Yeah, other than that, you probably need to see what destination would be the best for you and start narrowing down the search. So narrow it down to country, then to a list of universities, then see what universities offer political sciences degrees, and then see what professors are interested in whatever projects you're working on, and then you end up with two or three universities that actually work for you, and then you can go from there.
Okay, thank you very much. Um, Before I'm talking about this, Cupid asked about scholarships in Germany. So there are some scholarships in Germany, but the thing is, most of them are just free tuition, as you can see. So there are quite a lot of scholarship universities in Germany that doesn't charge tuition fees. For example, you can see these ones. Other than that, if you're looking for full funding, uh, unfortunately, we do not. Uh, yes, our next video will be Canada. I remember, Cameron. I remember my promise, but probably next Wednesday it will be Canada. So, as you can see, there are no full funding scholarships, but you can also look into partial funding scholarships. So, since a lot of universities don't really charge tuition fees, you can go for these like partial funding scholarships in Germany. So, you can look into these. But unfortunately, in Germany and like in general in Europe, there aren't that many. There are not that many um, full funding scholarships. So, also for Mukul Bhagat asking about, for example, let me show you one scholarship that like we were already going to see today. PhD positions at University of Basel. There are some scholarships like this. This is in Switzerland. So basically, this covers your covers travel and project opportunities, mentoring and research supervision, and competitive salary along with other benefits. So the thing is, basically, the university has some uh, PhD positions, as you can see here, right? And you can apply to these. Like Eamon said, you can like find a research project, the research, and then like try to get a scholarship with that. But also you can apply to basic like specific positions that universities has. For example, maybe hang on, where it is? Where is it? For example, postdoc position in urban CO2 flux observations and modeling. Like there are positions like this too. You can apply to these as well. They give you, for example, in the example of this scholarship, they cover your tuitions are not that extremely high anyway. In Switzerland, living costs are much more big of an issue, but this covers your living costs as well. It gives you a salary and etc. and etc. So there are also positions that you can specifically apply to. What about master's degree? Hang on, before that we have another question from Korede. So so AK, I'm gonna look in like I'm gonna ask like we're gonna see your question in a second. Yes, sorry about that one, Korede. Do I need the IELTS or TOEFL when I came from an English proficient country? If you're talking about like a country that has like native language in English, a lot of universities do not ask for that one. Like for example, obviously, in like if you're from United Kingdom and etc. But like there are some other countries as well. I believe, Ayman, right? Like you mentioned some certain places in India, if I remember correctly, for this one.
Um, yeah, so there are certain regions in India where people are actually native speakers of English, but
Mhm.
in certain other regions, their native tongue would not be English. In that case, maybe a language proficiency test is required, but sometimes people receive their education in English throughout their their years of education, so then that's no longer a requirement because they can explain that they studied in English before, and so they wouldn't have any or face any challenges when it comes to studying in English. It's a case by case situation, but for the most part, if you're a native speaker of English or considered to be one, then
Mhm.
The IELTS or TOEFL are not required. If you have received your education entirely in English, the IELTS or TOEFL is not required. But I don't know what you mean by English proficient country, uh, because that can mean anything really. So is English an official language? Is English a second language? That also matters. Yeah, so I mentioned the cases where the IELTS or the TOEFL are not required, otherwise they are.
Okay, thank you very much. Um, Now, AK, what about master's degree scholarships? You can look into these once again, like using our search tool. There are master's degree scholarships, but not that like not as many as for that are for PhDs. Now, there are quite a lot of scholarships that you will see, but if you're interested in, for example, the United States, one thing that you will see a lot here are graduate assistantships. Although the thing is, graduate assistantships are usually for PhDs, even though you can apply as a master's student. But if you're interested in other countries, for example, like Taiwan and China, there are more scholarship, like not more scholarships, but there are scholarships that are available for pretty much every degree. Like for example, like this one, like they have multi-tiered scholarships for like every levels of study and like different tiers. Like it gives you partial or total tuition, fee waivers on campus, accommodation and living stipend, and etc. So there are some, but not as many as there are for PhD students. So yeah, I would look into our search tool. Hi there, Coretta. I'm actually looking for a full scholarship, but I haven't chosen a country. Looking for your advice. Going for bachelor's for software engineering. I am from Nigeria. Eamon, what do you think about this one?
Um,
And they
so
say
for
English is our official language. Where are you from? Maybe you can. Sorry, you said Nigeria. Yeah, Eamon. Okay, sorry.
yeah, so some very few universities require the IELTS exam from students from Nigeria, but many the, the just waive it. So you just have to go through whatever university you're interested in website and
Mhm.
then see the language requirements. They will say that, for example, students from countries or English speaking countries are not required to submit the IELTS, and you can see it there. You can see a list of countries that are excluded, or uh, a list of countries that they require the test from. So there's that kind of information on the university's website. For the most part, it's not required, just so you know.
Yeah. So, like for example, for in terms of English speaking countries, like the your best bet to find scholarships would be the United States because like it gives way more scholarships than other English speaking countries. So you can look into these two. For example, one thing you could do would be maybe search for some scholarships or go to the university and find out like if they're offering software engineering. A lot of universities would, I believe. So one and other thing. Now you can choose software engineering here, right? Let's actually, you know what? Let's say all locations. Now, when you search for a specific subject, oh, it doesn't. Hmm, there aren't that. There aren't any. So you can you can search for these, and like our search tool normally gives you like the first it gives you scholarships that are specifically for that subject, but apparently there aren't that many that are specifically for software engineers. But what you can do, you can go to the scholarship page, right, and then go to the universities page. Hang on. And then here you can see, like you can click here to go and see their admission process for bachelor's or master's. You can just click here, right? And then in their like admission page, you can get more information about English requirements. And then like there you would have a better idea about whether they waive English proficiency for Nigeria. Obviously, it will not work like this because of the frame rate. Um, I cannot really see. Okay, this is not great in terms of like finding where what you're looking for. Campus life, students. I guess like you would have to look for a specific program. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, I don't see any other questions right now. So I'm gonna show one of our like scholarships that we've picked for today. So like it would help showing you how our website works too. So, but if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them anytime you want. Now, this is Marvin B. Perry Presidential Scholarship at Agnes Scott College. As you can see, this is for bachelor's. It's in United States. It covers about $246,000. It's full funding, but this amount, like they will not give this amount of money to you. Like they will not hand you $250,000 and like you can do whatever you want. This includes tuition fees as well, and about like $180,000 of that will be the tuition fees. So there are no specific nationalities, as you can see. There are no specific subjects for this scholarship, and the admission deadline is November the 1st. You can click here to go to our page for that university and get more information. This is a really interesting university. It's not a large university. They have very few students, but they have a lot of scholarships, and basically they are doing this thing where they get like fewer students, but they are giving quite a lot of financial aid to that small amount of students, right? They have 10 different scholarships. This is the most comprehensive one. It's full funding. And as you can see, tuition fees are quite high. Sorry, about $45,000. And when you go to their page, also, there's a comment section in pretty much every page we have, both for scholarships and for the universities. And if you leave your questions here in our comment section, Hyun Lee, our founder, will answer them for you. Pretty much, there are no questions that I've ever seen in this comment section that aren't answered by Hyun. So yeah, for example, is this scholarship available for international transfer students? No, only available for first-time incoming students. So yeah, you can just click here official scholarship page to go to the university's page, right? And where they like give quite a lot of information about the scholarship, about other scholarships as well. And they have this this $100,000 promise. Basically, Agnes Scott, $100,000. Hi, could you please link this in the chat box? Of course. So let me just share this with you. So, hang on. All students applying for the fall 2025 school year, if you are admitted to Agnes Scott for fall 2025, you will receive at least a $25,000 renewable merit-based scholarship annually. So basically, like if you're admitted to the university, they accept your merit based on that. You're very welcome. Um, over your 4 years at Agnes Scott, that will become the promised $100,000. So yeah, not that many students, but quite a lot of financial aid. You can click here too. So basically, this is a very good way, Mukul Bhagat, to go from point of zero where you have no idea about what scholarship opportunities you have, what scholarships there are, to the point where you actually can like pretty much apply to the university and like maybe contact the university yourself. So yeah, this is one of the scholarships. Basically, this is a bachelor's scholarship. I don't see any other questions as well. Let me just make sure I haven't missed any. Yeah, there aren't any new scholarships. So this one was like one of the scholarships that we have for today. We have a graduate assistantship. So it's a partial scholarship. Not really. It's it's a fully full funding scholarship because it gives you more than, hang on, as you can see, it like covers full tuition and accommodation expenses for up to. Oh, you mean that $100,000 promise? That is like that comes to partial scholarship, but this scholarship, Marvin B. Perry Presidential Scholarship, is full funding. Yeah. So the university has quite a lot of other scholarships as well. You can look into like this is our page for the university. You can just click on scholarships and go and see all the scholarships the university has. This is the one we are talking about. For example, they have another one which will give you about $2,500. Another one that will give you $3,000. Another one that's just full tuition. Um, we can look into that too, actually. And yeah, full tuition, accommodation fees. Hang on, this is full tuition and accommodation fees. This should be full funding, I believe. First time incoming undergraduate student. Let's see the official scholarship page too. This is, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. Gozeta. Please, do they have computer science or software engineering? For that, you would need to go to Agnes Scott College and see their. This is so difficult to do in this weird frame rate. Let's see, apply undergraduate, um, admission, high school students, international students, my application checklist. Um, do we have any programs list? Academic, uh, maybe in the brochure. You might want to like look into their page, basically campus life, admission, academics. Let's see here. Majors and minors. Yeah, I think you can look into this one, computer science or software engineering. Yeah, they do. So you can, as you can see, you can go to the university's page to learn more. So yeah, I was looking into this scholarship foundation. Um, yeah, offers one foundation scholarship each year to an incoming first, covering full tuition, room, and board with a current 4-year value of $246,000. Preference is given to students with experience within the Hispanic Latin experience and who have. Ayman, am I wrong? I think this scholarship should be classified as full funding instead of full tuition.
Um, I think at the beginning when we were starting to do the database, we considered full
Mm-hmm.
tuition plus accommodation as fully funded, but with time, we only considered fully funded as full tuition plus um plus an allowance plus accommodation fees, or just full tuition plus a monthly allowance. So that's why this is no longer considered to be a fully funded scholarship, because it doesn't really uh, give you, it doesn't cover like your day-to-day expenses. and that's why we
Mm.
just consider it to be uh, full tuition only.
Like this and Marvin B. Perry's presidential scholarship has pretty much the same 4-year value, but I think one says like housing and dining. Sorry,
Yeah.
the other just say room and board. I'm not sure. Yeah.
So for
Anyway,
the other one,
sorry. Go ahead.
I would for the Marvin B. Perry, I would probably consider that to be fully funded because they also support your uh on top of your housing, they
Hmm.
also include food um expenses.
Right.
So I would consider that to be that would be covering your day-to-day expenses at least, or just a portion of it, and we could consider that as fully funded. It's really uh, a judgment call. Like you can't say that this is fully funded or this is full tuition. You just have to make up a certain definition and just go with it.
Right.
So situations like this are pretty rare. So we just decide on what to qualify them as.
Let's see. I mean, I think it's more based on their description. There's a very good chance, in my opinion, that these are kind of identical, but one is specifically for student with experience within the Hispanic experience. I'm not. So yeah, I think like that kind of the issue comes from the university's description for both scholarships. Yeah. So yeah, okay. This one like Agnes Scott College is definitely full funding. We can say that. So this is how our system works. Basically, it takes you from our front page to the point where we can go and see pretty much every single information piece of information about that scholarship, about the university, like to the point where you are like can actually go to the admission page of the university. Um, I don't see any other scholarship questions as of yet. So I'm gonna see. Let's see another scholarship. So this is, you know, huh. So this is. Let's see, graduate assistantship at Pittsburgh State University. So we've talked about graduate assistantships. Basically, these are for masters and PhD students. A lot of universities in the United States have these, but there are also some in countries like United Kingdom or South Korea. There are some in other countries as well, but United States universities has quite a lot of them. Now, even though this says masters and PhD students, it's kind of a little more likely for PhD students to have this. So graduate assistantship is basically you going and working at the university. It's like kind of being employed by the university, and in turn, like you go there and work for like 20 hours or 10 hours. This one specifically, 20 hours is considered full time working, and 10 hours is considered part time. And in turn, they give you a salary uh, based on how many hours you work. They can cover your tuition fees. And yeah, tuition fees. And some universities give you either love. I'm still not from Tunisia. No, I am still from Turkey. I think this is like the 10th time you are asking me. No, I'm not. Are you from Tunisia? Where are you from? Now I'm curious about that. No, not yet. So some universities cover your health insurance, which is quite important in the United States because, like medical bills can bankrupt you. Some universities, like basically, quite a lot of benefits that you would get from being employed, which is why they're also quite complicated as well. The process. So this is in Pittsburgh State University. It's in the United States. Full funding, again, meaning it covers more than just tuition fees. There are no specific nationalities, there are no specific subjects for this one, and the deadline is October 15th. As you can see, we have the coverage here. Um, it covers tuition and fees. It gives you a regular stipend according to the agreed rate, and it covers 75% of student insurance cost. So, if you want to study in the United States, you're from Turkey. I somehow doubt that. Not sure why. You look like you. I think that you are from Tunis. I'm not sure why I think that, but I feel like that's the case. 75% of the students yeah, I was saying, if you want to study in the United States, I would really look into, like, do my research on how the insurance works. So, as you can see, we have some eligibility criteria. You need to be proficient in English with a minimum TOEFL speaking score of 22 or a minimum IELTS speaking score of 7. Obviously, like, they really want you to be proficient in English because you will be working there. There are different types of assistantships. You can be a teaching assistant, you can be an administrative assistant, you can be a research assistant, and then, like, you would work and help the staff on those specific areas. Like, that would be your job. And as you can see, students with approval to work in the United States and students enrolled in the last and at least 9 credits. So, um, as you can see, we have two other questions here, which are completely, like, both of them are answered by Yan Li. You can look into these two. And then we have official scholarship page. You can go and see about the assistantships. As you can see, this is somehow interesting. Now, benefits can change from university to university. Some pay quite a lot. For example, um, I'm not sure which university was it, Texas A&M. Like, they were giving about $4,000, $5,000 per month for assistants, and this assistantship, for example, gives about 500, $550 per month. So it can change. So as you can see, we have teaching here. Full time is 20 hours, part time is 10 hours. We have administrative, which pays more. Um, it's pretty much twice the amount, I think. And we have research assistantships. It's the same as administrative. We have quite a lot of information here, which would be kind of same that we have on our page. And as you can see, we have, like, the open opportunities right now. I want to check the Agnes really quickly when the live ending. All right. I shared the link for that one, right? I think so. Um, so as you can see, like, we have for teaching assistants, we have these, and then we have these for administrative assistantships. You can look into these too. It's not that great uh, as graduate assistantships go, but it's not that terrible either. Like, it's like the university, by the way, is in Georgia, so, like, you would not need that quite a lot of money. Like, you don't need $2,000, $3,000 per month, but you would at least have, like, need a, like, I don't know, $1,200 or something. This would not be enough to cover your expenses. Okay. Ayush says, asks, is there any difference between bachelor's in home country and master's abroad versus bachelor's abroad and master's abroad, assuming the master's college is the same? Sorry for the long queue. It's completely okay. Uh, hey Cameron, I see your question too. For first, Ayush, Ayman, what do you think about this? I wouldn't know what to say about this question, actually.
Mm, uh, e- like for studying abroad in general, I wouldn't think that there's much difference. You probably have better chances of being admitted as an undergraduate student, um, because there are colleges that just offer undergraduate uh, degrees, but they don't have grad schools. So when you look at universities in general and colleges, uh, there are more that offer undergraduate degrees. So you have more chances of applying, more chances of being accepted in general. For masters, you probably would need much more than that because it's way more serious as a degree. The requirements would be higher. So if you studied bachelor's in your home country, you need to be a top student in order to apply for a master's abroad. I mean, that's not necessarily the rule, but it significantly increases your chances of being admitted. Um, so for bachelor's abroad, master's abroad, I think it would be much easier if you did your bachelor degree abroad for you to just move to a master's degree, especially if it's the same university or the same country. It would be much easier. Um, Other than that, I don't see a difference unless you're looking for scholarships, then it's a different story because at the undergraduate level, um, although I think there are more scholarships at the undergraduate level than there are at the master's level. So it's good to start preparing at the age of 16, 17, like a year or two before you finish high school, to study abroad and to have a solid application. Whereas for a master's degree, there are fewer opportunities, and then you have also less time to prepare because you were too busy with your undergraduate degree. So it really is a case by case situation. Some people don't do well in high school, but then do great at university at the undergraduate level in their home country, and they can study abroad easily. Some other people have a lot of potential at the in high school, then they don't do well at university at the undergraduate level, and then they don't have much access to a master's abroad with their grades or financial situation. So you actually need to look at your own situation in order to evaluate whether a bachelor's in your home country, then study masters abroad is good, or just go for it at the bachelor's level immediately. So it just depends on you as a person and what you think. You can't objectively say that one is better than the other.
I was muted. All right, thanks a lot. I will be back with more questions next Friday. Have a good weekend, both of you. Thank you very much. And I'm excited to see you next Friday. Cameron says must make a video that how Pakistani students apply for scholarship. Um, we don't really have a lot of content that's based on a specific nation, but I will look for that because like this is the actual third time you're asking for that. I will look into that and see what type of um, content, like or what type of advice we can find about that one. Um, but I cannot really promise that it would be extremely useful. All right. So I don't see any new questions on either TikTok, or I'm really framed very badly. Okay, this is better. Or YouTube. So I think we will end the live stream here. We've seen a couple of scholarships. Also, we have a scholarship that is like we Global Scholarships also has a scholarship, which is about $3,000. It's for international students. You can apply for that too. Let me actually share the link with you. So this is the scholarship. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Eamon, do you want to add anything in general? Perhaps you want to oh, by the way,
Um,
sorry.
mhm.
First, I'm interrupting you, but one thing I need to add about graduate assistantships, even though Eamon said uh, that already, we still went through a graduate assistantship again. Graduate assistantships are not given before you go to the university. You have to like you have to apply to the university, get accepted, go there, start studying, and then you need to apply for this. So like you cannot really depend on these to cover your uh, expenses. Keep that in mind, please. Sorry, I interrupted you, Eamon. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So earlier I just forgot, but you went to Duke University's admission page and you couldn't find any information about the test requirements. If that happens, and when that happens, that means that the university is test blind. So the test is not a requirement for anyone who's applying to the university, and that's why you can't find that kind of information. That's the case for Duke. I looked for it, and it's just test blind, so it's not a requirement at all. So you can apply without uh, worrying about that, even if you're not from uh, a country where English is an official language or a first language. Anyone can apply, and the test is not required.
Okay, thank you very much for that information, and thanks for like following it up. Um, all right, I think that's it for today. I don't see any new questions. I'm gonna give you like a moment to type in any questions that you might have. Otherwise, it's that's it for today, guys. And
Um,
again, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
uh, just for the one person who's interested in studying in Agnes,
Mhm.
so in 2023, 2024, over 50% of the applicants got financial aid. So it's actually a good university to apply to if you're looking for
Mhm.
financial aid. I think they admitted over 300 students and 195 got a scholarship. On average, they got 42,000, which is basically close to full tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're really interested in Agnes College, you can uh, actually seriously consider it.
All right, that's true. Like they, as a university, they focus on giving people financial aid instead of like having more students, which is an interesting change from a lot of universities. But yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining us here today. If you're watching this on VOD, thank you very much for watching our video and until the end, no less. And we'll be here once again next week Friday at the same time. So you can look into our YouTube channel. We share a lot of stuff there. We share a lot of stuff on TikTok. Other than that, I wish you a very, very enjoyable week. Eamon, thank you very much for joining me today. Hi there, City. We are just
Yeah,
ending the live stream. Sorry. Uh,
thank you, As. Thank you.
okay. All right then, everyone. See you next Friday and bye.